course.
So throughout history, there have been some ferocious creatures that have roamed the earth, and it seems the biggest and most dangerous have since gone extinct. For this list, I won't be including very well-known animals such as the
Number
Spinosaurus or
10.
T-Rex, or for the most part, any other dinosaurs. Number 10, Gigantopithecus. This creature was a monstrous ape, closely related to the orangutan that roamed the bamboo forests, jungles, and mountains of China, India, and Vietnam during the Pleistocene time period. It was a vegetarian, but still probably not a sight for sore eyes. It could grow up to 3 meters tall and weigh up to 1,200 pounds. Its strength was undoubtedly extraordinary and probably kept it safe from most predators, and it probably would not hesitate to use its strength against a human who got too close for its comfort. It went extinct 300,000 years ago, possibly due to overhunting by early humans, or as the result of climate change. Number 9, 3-foot-long scorpions. Officially known as Pomanoscorpius, these creatures were very similar to today's scorpions, but could grow up to a meter long and were armed with sharp claws and a venomous stinger. It's not known how deadly the venom was, but considering the large amount it injected with each attack, it was more than likely very deadly. During the time period that these things were around, there were also giant roaches the size of house cats, dragonflies the size of hawks, and millipede relatives up to 3 meters long. Number 8, giant crocodiles. If normal crocodiles weren't bad enough, there was once a creature now known as Purosaurus, which was more than twice the size of a regular crocodile. It lived in South America 8 million years ago, and would grow up to 13 meters long. That's more than twice as long as the largest species of crocodile alive today. It would be fully capable of swallowing a human whole. These giant crocodiles were capable of fighting T-Rexes and winning. Number 7, Quetzalcoatlus. Undoubtedly the most horrifying living thing to ever come from the sky, these creatures were gigantic predatory birds standing at about roughly the same height as a giraffe. Some of them had wingspans of 12 to 15 meters, making them as large as a small plane. What was rather strange about the creatures were their body proportions. They had ridiculously long legs, necks, and beaks, and very small bodies, as well as relatively short wings. Scientists believe that they did not hunt in the air, but rather walked on the ground hunting for any animal they could catch and swallow whole, and that may have included dog-sized or maybe even man-sized creatures. Number 6, Megalodon. This enormous, extinct creature is the biggest species of shark to have ever existed. It's generally thought to have looked similar to the modern great white. However, while a great white shark can grow up to be 20 feet long and over 7,000 pounds, Megalodon was estimated to be 60 feet in length, weighing anywhere from 50 to 100 tons. Megalodon only died off about 2.6 million years ago. This means that he often interacted with animals that are still around today, like giant sea turtles, porpoises, and even whales. If these guys were still around, it would just be one more reason to stay out of the ocean. Number 5, Gorgonops. Before dinosaurs came along, the planet was still full of giant, horrifying monsters. A prime example is Gorgonops, an animal that lived 260 million years ago, way before the dinosaurs became the dominant predators.
What animal
At around
in
6
like
to 10 feet in length,
200,000
Gorgonops was
years that
such a
lives
fast and
today
vicious
would
predator that quickly
would
rose to
make
top of
the
food
list
chain.
of some video
Of
like
course,
this
it
for
also
them?
helped that Gorgonops had massive canines so large they nearly
Hello,
protruded beyond its
Fors.
lower jaw.
I watched Dr. Les
Number
Carter
4,
videos
terror
and did the
birds.
opposite, and
These
apparently
birds were the
people
top
find
predators
you
in South
cooler,
America and
worse
parts
you
of
treat
North America
them.
during the
Thanks
Miocene,
for the
Pliocene,
inspiration,
and early
Mr.
Pleistocene
Fors.
periods
Can you
before they were
clarify this
replaced by big
phenomenon?
cats and other
Is
carnivorous
narcissism
mammals.
fill the meter?
Unlike
I
Quetzalcoatlus, they were
can't.
unable to fly, but could run very fast, some speculate as
Komodo
fast as a
dragon.
cheetah, and of course they were very large, with the largest of the species growing up to 3 meters tall and weighing up to half a ton. Their main weapon was their head, which could grow up to a meter long,
I would say something
allowing
like
them to swallow
hippos.
prey as large as a dog in one single gulp. However, thanks to the hooked tip of the bill, which was used as a weapon, the terror birds could kill and devour prey much larger than a dog, including horses, camels, and humans, if they were around at the time. Number 3, Titanoboa. Being the largest snake to ever exist, Titanoboa grew upwards of 15 meters long and weighed over a ton. It lived in the warm climates of the tropics 60 million years ago.
Yeah,
It killed its prey by squashing it like the modern boa length, making it one of the largest marine predators of Earth's history. They themselves were predators or not.
And the Giga Centipede.
Dojeżdżając niewinne żółwie, gdy Sonic robi sobie testy prędkości,
This fucking guy.
świętuje wyniki. Z czego się cieszysz? Nawet nie wiesz, ile to jest, Miłku. Po czym Tomek znajduje błękitny kolec pełkniętego jeża i odjeżdża, Smurf ratuje żółwia i funduje mu 8 zawałów pompy, zabierając na przejażdżkę, a później wskakuje do swojej odpimpowanej nory. Też chcę taką. Gdzie od lat ukrywa się przed ludźmi i zabawia sam ze sobą, a gdy niechcąco strąca sakwę z obręczami, wspomina Radę Szpony, że jeśli zostanie odkryty, musi uciec na grzybową planetę, na której pokazanie bez powodu marnuje jeden z pierścieni. Myślisz, że tak Sauron doszedł do władzy? Po czym chwali się, że jest z wyrolem podglądającym ludzi w Green Hills, nazywając Tomka władcą pączków, a jego żonę Lady Pretzel, gapiąc się za krzaka, jak rozciąga pieroga. Ale gdy ja obserwuję sąsiadkę faląc...
You can't do this. I literally did this 2 days ago. I don't know how much the thing on his head weighs, but it looks like a fucking
Are you going to do a brain
dog
rot
head.
box pack opening after your shirt sale is concluded? That would be a W stream Force for real.
I don't think they have one. I only saw booster packs. But no further links, thank you, please. All right.
In October of 2003, I looked like this. And mobile phones looked like this. Well, at least one of them did. I'm Michael Fisher, and this is the Nokia N-Gage, better known as the Taco phone. And it's one of the most iconic misfires in mobile technology. This is a Mr.
N-Gage.
Mobile Retro Review.
Now I know.
Looking back on this crazy phone with 13 years of hindsight, it's easy to wonder what Nokia was thinking. But this wasn't just a flight of fancy from a no-name company, it was a calculated attack by the world's leading mobile phone manufacturer against the world's leading portable gaming company. Nokia built the N-Gage to steal mobile gaming share from Nintendo's Game Boy Advance. And while the idea of combining gaming and cell phones was a good one, it was also ahead of its time. First, while I've always thought the N-Gage was pretty good looking, its Frankensteinian roots as a gaming deck built by a phone company are evident. The portrait-style display stuck in the middle of a landscape-oriented device, the mushy numeric keyboard that tried to double as a gaming keypad, it just doesn't quite work. Games built for the N-Gage shipped on MMC cards, and you had to open the whole phone up to switch titles, including removing the battery. In one of the funniest reviews I've ever read, Fortune compared the process to field stripping a rifle at night while blindfolded. The N-Gage was also expensive at about $300, 3 times the Game Boy Advance's price at the time. Meanwhile, it was lighter and cheaper feeling in the hand than most Nokias of the era. And yeah, the edge-mounted earpiece and microphone meant that to use it as a phone, you held it
Game
like
Boy
this.
Advance was only $100.
In a day when vastly more
Wow.
people talked than texted, it was
Even
only a matter
inflation
of time
adjusted,
before
that's
the
pretty
taco phone nickname was
reasonable.
born.
I guess the games are expensive.
Nokia
but
estimated it would sell 6 million of these by the end of 2004, but it only managed to ship 1 million to retailers in that time. Despite later spawning a successor and then transforming into a game platform that ran on many Nokia phones, N-Gage was a failure. But in the weird world of nostalgia, failure often carries a peculiar kind of luster. When I announced on Twitter that this video was coming, people came pouring out of the woodwork to share their fond memories, most of whom never even owned an N-Gage. Using it in 2016
then
is
what memories?
delightfully strange. As mushy as the keypad is, it's not bad for texting. Once I got over the weird sensation of using a numeric pad on a landscape device, I was pretty speedy. Oh, and as a button nerd, I love those dedicated function keys for menu, MP3 player, and FM radio. Some useful features are also hiding within the Symbian 6 software, like a unit converter, a screenshot function, and an app that lets you compose your own ringtones at your own risk. And you know, for all the flack the controls get, I found the keypad pretty easy to get used to. This game is called Operation Shadow, one of 58 titles eventually released for the N-Gage. As you can see, the graphics aren't bad, considering. And the N-Gage offered multiplayer via Bluetooth as well, so if somebody else had an N-Gage, you could play with them from across the room. Most other handhelds of the time required you to use a cable. As PC Mag put it in its 2003 review, there were some great ideas here. The failures came mainly in execution, strategy, and a complex set of other challenges.